Hi, Alice here. I just couldn't let the day go without trying to get some pictures of my Penstemon Beardtongue plant. It's just covered with these. So let's take a quick look at this plant. I don't know if you can hear them, but there are several. I count at least 6, maybe 7 on this plant. Now, this is a native plant. It's native to the eastern United States, and its USDA Hardiness Zone goes from 5, 8. You can see these tubular flowers, and the bees just love them. And this is a host plant for the common buckeye butterfly. So I have to remind myself that I did see some buckeyes on this plant. So maybe we will have some buckeye caterpillars that show up in a few days. This plant can grow up to 3 feet tall, like 1.5 feet to 3. And what happened to this one is it looks like some animal came by and maybe sat down in it. But maybe next year, what I'm going to do is get something to prop the plant up. I like it much better upright, but it has continued to bloom and it is getting the job done with our native pollinators. I planted it as a border on both sides of the entrance to my garden. And the color of these, it's the pale lavender. You can see the almost like a little face that's open there, and the bee just hopped right in for us so that we could see what's going on. Now this is a deciduous plant. It's a long-lived perennial, and it did die back this winter. The area where it was growing was covered with snow, but it came back out early and it's been blooming for a few weeks. It is propagated by seed scattered by the wind, so I will be looking for some of these plants to start up in the yard, and this is the shape of the leaf. So when I see the plants, I want to be sure that when I'm digging them up, that I'm getting the Beardtongue and I'm not confusing it with the next door neighbor, which is the purple coneflower. Both of the leaves are longish, but they are distinctly different. This one, the echinacea or the purple coneflower, looks a little hairier, rougher kind of leaf, and this looks smooth. Now, for those of you who want this plant in your garden, if you have deer, especially the white-tailed deer, you may find them coming and grazing on the foliage of the plant. So that might be something that you want to consider if you're thinking about adding it, or put some kind of deer protection around it. I know some people use the sprays that are made from rotten eggs and other things that have a terrible scent that help repel the deer until it rains or for a little while, and then they have to be reapplied. And I use chicken wire fencing to keep deer off. I have not noticed a deer problem on my Beardtongue. These are great plants if you want to use them in pollinator garden, as a border, in a butterfly garden, or a native plant garden. To obtain plants, if there's a native nursery near you, it's best to obtain plants that have been grown in the area where you live. So like in Florida, I would be looking for my native plants that were propagated by growers here in Florida and not brought in from other states. It seems that when we bring things in from other states, they do not grow well, but when they are propagated here and grown in Florida, using the seeds from the native plants here in Florida, they do very well. This plant is Florida native, and it was propagated by seed, and the seed came from the Florida Wildflower Growers Cooperative, and there's a link below to that. I've mentioned them several times. They're a great source for native plant seeds, especially the wildflowers. And this is a wildflower. The family, I've been talking about Asteraceae family, the daisy aster family that has so many plants in it. This particular plant comes from the plantain family, so a completely different plant family altogether. The plant is easy to grow, and it likes full sun, partial shade. So I have all of my full sun wildflowers out here, and it's easy to maintain them because they all have the same sun requirements and the same water requirements and the same soil requirements. This likes a sandy soil. It does well in sandy soil, and I do have a sandy loamy soil mix here in my garden area. The pH of the soil that it prefers is 6.1, which is slightly acidic, to 7.8, which is alkaline. So that's a wide range of pH. For growing this plant successfully, if you haven't a soil test, I would recommend getting a soil test, especially in the garden bed area if you're wanting to grow native wildflowers. Go into your local cooperative extension office in the state where you live and get the soil kits, take your soil samples and mail them into the state laboratory and have a sample so that you know the type of soil that you have. That way you will be successful growing plants. Now, I was just talking about the purple coneflower, and here in the middle of my Beardtongue plant bed, what do you think this is? This is looking a lot like the bud of a purple coneflower, and the leaf is looking like a coneflower leaf, not like the smooth leaf of the Beardtongue. So I was talking about how the purple coneflower is a great reseeder, and here's an example of a coneflower that has grown from seed from this original plant. And I'm hoping that the Beardtongue will also be a prolific reseed for me, and I will be able to have more plants to spread around, because it is awesome to listen to all of these pollinators. I would like to spread this plant into more areas than my circle garden. I was just checking out the yard after it got mowed this afternoon, and look what I found. Here is a volunteer Beardtongue. I did not plant this, and I was talking about, oh, I hoped it would reseed or the seeds would blow and I would get a volunteer. And here one is on the edge of my pollinator garden. And of course, a bee hard at work, even here close to sunset. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe to Garden Yay. It makes such a difference. I appreciate it. Enjoy your garden.